Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Bahrain International Circuit for the 7th and final round of the 2023 FIA World Endurance Championship here at the Bapco Energies 8 Hours of Bahrain. This is a week where champions are set to be crowned, and the WEC will also say goodbye to the LMP2 and LMGTE Am categories as 2024 is set to welcome a new structure with GT3, but of course the same great, exciting global endurance racing experience. We've got a full spread of personalities across our Hypercar class from our manufacturers today. So we'll get started with the Toyota Gazoo Racing team, our new manufacturer champions for 2023. We're expecting Kamui Kobayashi, but let's start first with Kazuki Nakajima. Kazuki, great to see you. Hope all is well. Yes, great result for you at Fuji, and you sealed that title once more. But all eyes are on the Drivers' Championship this weekend. Number 7 and number 8 crews going at it. 15 points difference. How are you looking forward to maybe managing that on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, first of all, it was great result in Fuji, which we were really eager to achieve. And also, not only the race win, but also it was great to secure the manufacturer title. Fuji and of course, as you mentioned, driver title is still remaining to to achieve for us and for our team. But yeah, as you said, it's the fight between Car 8 and Car 7, but also Ferrari guys still has a possibility. So our stance is quite clear. We want to let our drivers basically fight openly to win the championship, but at the same time we still think about the risk management, not to let the Ferrari guys to win. So it's not straightforward, but our aim is clear, so we just go for it.
Now you've been in that position as a driver before, of course. Tell us about those. Just adjust your microphone for you. There you go.
Hello. Yeah.
That's better. Got you in stereo now. So thanks very much. As a driver, you've obviously experienced those pressures yourself. Very different role for you now. Just tell us about your position in the team and how things are going to be structured heading into Saturday.
Well, now I work for the team as a part of management, and of course the view is quite different. As a driver, the aim is always simple. You look for, the individual victory and achievement. But from my position now, we need to also control the risk. And as I said, we still have a bit of risk we need to manage. But at the same time, knowing the position of the driver or the mind of the driver, we also want them to race hard and do their best. So it's not always an easy call to have a good balance between those two. But but so far we have been racing quite a good season, and let's hope that we can have a last box ticked after the race.
Thanks very much, Kazuki. Good luck for you and the Toyota Gazoo squad this weekend here in Bahrain. Let's move over now to our Cadillac Racing representative, Stephen Mitas, the team manager of Cadillac Racing. Good to see you, Stephen. This car's proved to be such a fan favourite this season, but what are the main takeaways as we get towards the end of this campaign that you're taking away for the first season in hypercars for Cadillac?
Okay, first and foremost, congratulations to Toyota on a sensational season. The Cadillac Racing project this year is brand new, so new car, new team effectively in WEC. So I think we've had a solid season and some good results, the highlight obviously being Le Mans. And we just want to build on that. Build that momentum, do the best we can here in Bahrain, and work as hard as we can to take that next step in 2024.
Obviously, work never ceases, never stops in endurance racing. You'll go away from here. You've got a close season where I'm sure you're going to be doing lots of data crunching and then developing this car and understanding how quickly and how competitively you can come back next season. What's on the to-do list when you leave here on Sunday?
We're actually not leaving on Sunday. We've got a tyre test on Tuesday, so that's that first stage of our 2024 prep. We're testing in Spain in December, and obviously there's a bunch of work to be done in Sebring and Daytona in December and January. So the team's full attack, trying to do the best we can to, like I said, take the next step in 2024.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, Stephen. Good luck for the 8 hours on Saturday. Let's move over to Alex Lynn, driver of the number 2 V Series R. Good to see you, Alex. Yeah, you've had some great races this season. As Stephen mentioned, that podium at Le Mans been a highlight. You've got a good record here as well. You go a second last year for United Autosports in LMP2. I mean, just give us an idea about the challenge here at Bahrain. I mean, it's famous for its abrasive surface, but what are you looking at when you're doing a program in free practice?
I think this circuit offers a lot of unique challenges. It's always a good, entertaining race, first of all, and it's cool to race under the lights. But you know, as a circuit in particular, a lot of longitudinal braking, a lot of big traction events. Not a crazy amount of lateral G. So from what you look from the car is something a bit more particular. But yeah, I think like you mentioned, the tyre deck is the main factor. There's no getting around that. So really, as drivers and as engineers, we really look to maximise that from our car. So yeah, without harbouring on to that point, it is the main aspect of this race and trying to make those tyres last as long as possible while still, working on a very fast lap time average. That's the key to getting a good result here, I feel.
I imagine you always knew in the first year of an all-new design that it was going to be some ups and some downs. I mean, how are you appraising the season as we enter the final round this weekend?
I'm personally very proud of the project and very proud of this team, of what we've managed to achieve in like Stephen said, in such a short amount of time to put the whole pieces together. And I really have to credit Stephen for how he's put this team together. So actually I would say I'm very proud of what we've done. The third place in Le Mans, it is our main highlight so far. And I think not one person in our team is not super hungry to make it even better. So that, I think, is the strength of this team, is our desire to be better every single day. And if we can keep working on those 1%, then I know we're going to make this car even better.
Okay, thanks very much, Alex. Let's move over now to our guests from the Ferrari AF Core Squad, Nicholas Nielsen and Batty Pregliasco. Nicholas, good to see you. Off the back of Fuji, I imagine you'll be impatient to get back on track. It was one of the tougher weekends of the season for Ferrari AF Core. So just talk to us a little bit about that and how you're hoping to bounce back on the pace here in Bahrain.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think there is a lot more to add than what you just said. I mean, we struggled there, and then hopefully we will bounce back now.
And free practice one, obviously, we saw the weather affected that session. And was there much that was able to be learnt in the dry running? I know the wind was obviously a factor too. How did it go for the team?
Yeah, I mean, difficult to say. Like you said, it was quite messy out there. But I mean, there is always something to take. We'll have to wait to see what will happen in FP2. But yeah, it is difficult to say at the moment.
And you managed to test here last month, I think. I mean, did you get many laps in the car and get a feeling for how you can best just evaluate and get into the mix on your first competitive visit to Bahrain?
Well, I think we had some good days of testing. We learned quite a lot, but obviously testing is very different from racing. So we will have to see where we are once we get started here, and then I mean, quali is one thing, but then obviously things can change during the race as well. So I think we need to wait until the race to see where we really are.
Excellent. Good luck to you. Nicholas Nielsen, of course, had a success here last year in the Am class with Francois Perroda. So good luck to you for this weekend. Batty, great to see you. Yeah, mentioning that test that you did, obviously that's valuable data to have before you actually get to a circuit that is new to this wonderful 499P Hypercar. Just tell us how useful that was and some of the data you were able to gather from that test.
Basically, we are, for us, it's all new this season, so we need to test to improve and to know our car in each circuit. We faced the problems in Fuji, as you saw, and was not hidden. It's the only track where we had no possibility to test. We invest money, drivers, and efforts to come in Bahrain to test, to try to make our best, as we did all the season. So, of course, and congratulations to Toyota. They are the first one in this championship, and we have to try to make their life more difficult, and we try our best.
And as a team manager, Batty, how are you viewing the first free practice session? You know, we didn't expect this kind of weather. We never do in Bahrain. But actually, is there going to be a knock-on effect, tyre-wise perhaps, of how the allocation sits for the remaining part of the running for the preparation for Saturday?
Yeah, I lived 2 years in Arabic country. I've seen many times such a mess. Few times, but it's very, very, very rare. For sure, it changed a lot our program of work. About the tire allocation, it changed a little bit, but no, I don't think it will change very much. For sure, we will try better this night, and we use all the tire we have to understand where we are. We made a test, and it was a little bit different because it was much more hot. So we will see, and it's not only the tires that we have to test here. We have to test the brakes, the car setup, and everything. So it's not just one point to put on the right shape.
Okay, all the best for free practice too, Batty.
Thank you.
Thank you to our Ferrari guests. And now moving over to Will Stevens and Dieter Gas from the Herz Team Jota squad. Good to see you, gentlemen. Will, let's speak to you first. About to head into the 5th race for this exciting project. Bit more familiarity now with the car. Tell us just how the development's going and what might be possible here in the final chance in Bahrain this season.
Yeah, I think each race we've taken a step forward. Obviously, we feel much more comfortable with the package we have, and I think each race we've come away from, we've shown good performance at different points of each weekend. But we just need to execute a perfect race weekend for us as a team. And I think if we can achieve that, we should be up near the sharp end come the end of the race. So historically, this race track's always been pretty good for us as a team. Obviously, as people have said, it's much more higher degradation, much more what we've been used to from LMP2, let's say. Now it's a completely different tyre in Michelin, but I think similarities will still carry over. So it's just a weekend we want to keep improving still. There's things we still need to learn on this car, some different things we have this weekend. So get into grips with those quickly and then try and maximise the package that we have throughout the test sessions before the race.
You personally have achieved a great deal in GT and LMP2 in the past. Now you're attacking hypercars with this glittering array of competition in the category. I mean, as a motivating factor and satisfaction level, that must be pretty high up there in your career.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, me personally, but also for the team, we've had a lot of success working up to this point. We haven't come into hypercar to take part. Obviously, we want to come here and perform and achieve big things. So it's going to be difficult going up against all these great manufacturers and teams. There's no denying that's going to be a big challenge, but it's one we feel up for. Obviously, we went into this year as a learning year, and we've certainly done that so far, but there's things we still need to improve on together, and I'm sure we'll hit the ground running well for next year.
Thanks very much, Will. Let's speak now to Dieter. Dieter, just talk to us a bit about this project and how it's developing. It's caught the eyes of the fans and the TV viewers all over the world, but from a technical perspective, what are you guys learning? I mean, is it just a consistent learning process? Because the cars are quite complex, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think stepping into the season as a first customer team in the hypercars was always going to be a struggle and a steep learning curve for us. As Will said, we are learning from race to race. What makes it a bit more complicated as well is that we're running only one car, so the learning is, let's say, almost half of what everybody else does on the track. But it has been really about, as you say, getting grips on the whole car, on the systems, which are really complicated and still somewhat evolving as well on the car. So we need to be in the case there and make sure that we get to a point where we can use really everything which is offered to us by the package from Porsche.
Now, you've got so much experience with big OEMs, with Toyota and Audi, notably. Racing with an independent team or, let's say, a customer team, a top one, is there a different sort of mindset to it from your point of view on how you manage the team and get the best out of the package that you have?
Yeah, I love it, I have to say. Being in a small team or in a smaller team is just... in many concerns, as a pure racer, it's just a lot easier because you have very short decisions, very quick decisions when you need them. There's not many people to be asked, like the board of the company or anything, if you want to do something. So that's what I really like about it. On the other hand, obviously it comes at an expense, and the expense is that you have other limitations that you have to face with. But overall, if you draw the line, I think I really like being in an organization which is super knowledgeable and super efficient.
Thanks very much, Dieter. Thanks to all our guests. Sorry for Kamui, but he was fastest in that session, so we'll let him off for that, Kazuki. Yeah, good luck for free practice too. We look forward to the race on Saturday. We're going to have a quick change now, so if you gentlemen can vacate the seats, we'll get our next guests on. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, let's start phase 2 of our pre-event press conference for the Bapco Energies 8 Hours of Bahrain, the final race of the 2023 FIA World Endurance Championship season. Okay, let's speak to our Porsche Penske guests, Kevin Estre and Jonathan Dugard. Kevin obviously driving with the number 6 Porsche Penske, crew sharing the car with Andre Lotterer and Lawrence Van Tour. Some great momentum, Kevin, from that result at Fuji, that 3rd place, a terrific race for you and your teammates there. Just tell us what that performance did from I suppose, a confidence point of view after some difficult races this season.
Yeah, no, it was definitely very good to have a podium there in Fuji. We had one in Portimao, but we definitely were not on the pace we were in Fuji, and it was more on the misfortune from the others. Fuji, Lawrence had a good start, and then we led the race for 4 hours, which was great feeling for us, fighting for the victory. It was not enough, really. I think Toyota had still an edge on us and was a bit quicker, especially when they were in clean air. But it took them very long to overtake, which is a good sign. And yeah, it feels just good to feel the improvement in the car and also show it on the result. I think is important for the whole group of Porsche Penske Motorsport. Also showing the big bosses at Porsche that we made some improvement. It's not only on the report, it's also on the result. But it's definitely not enough. We are here to win and not to be P3, but it definitely felt good to just fight for victory.
I know it would be difficult to give an accurate appraisal in free practice because it was weather affected, but is there a sort of feeling that you can continue that level of consistent pace here in Bahrain on Saturday?
Fuji and Bahrain are quite different in terms of track. We haven't been testing here, so it's difficult to know where we'll stand. Toyota has definitely some advantage being here the last years. I think our base car is good. We understand our car better, and we seems to have a pretty good balance now. The last times we were on track everywhere we were, and it seems to be the case this morning during lunchtime in FP1, although we didn't have really much running on the dry. But no, I think we learned a lot throughout the season, and I think the fact that when we drop the car on the ground, we are somewhere, not too far, is a good sign. But Bahrain is a very, very hard track. Track conditions are changing a lot throughout the race, high degradation, so for sure you're gonna have to look after your tire and have a car which allow you to do so. And this we don't know yet because it was quite limited running in FP1.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin. Let's move over now to Jonathan Dugard, the Managing Director of Porsche Penske. Good to see you, Jonathan. Yeah, what were the overriding emotions when Andre took the checkered flag in Fuji? I guess a mixture of excitement that you've made obviously some breakthroughs with the car. And I don't know, was there any other sort of thoughts in your head about what could be achieved in Bahrain and then into the off-season, which we're going into now?
Yeah, I think Kevin mentioned it's sort of a game of momentum as we went through the season, and the momentum has been going the right way since post-Le Mans. I think our performance in Monza was quite strong with both cars, and then, like Kevin said, the 6-car crew executed. I'm sure Kevin had a little bit more stress than everybody else being chased for the 2 hours in the middle of the race, but did an excellent job and kept the Toyotas behind him. But like he said, we're still looking for a little bit more pace, and Bahrain's a big unknown because it's probably the highest tire degradation track we're going to go to in the season. And I think, what's going to determine your pace is not your pace on 20-lap-old tires. It's going to be your pace on 40 or 50-lap-old tires that are really going to differentiate the cars. And so I think that's going to be our focus over the next couple practice sessions. We didn't get to really see that during FP1 because of the sand to start, and then also the rain that came there in the end. But like Kevin said, the initial baseline feeling from Lawrence Vantour and Michael, who started in the cars, said we're in the window and we have somewhere to start from.
Fuji saw pretty much all green flag racing. If there's a bit more jeopardy in the 8 hours on Saturday, is that something you feel as though you'd be in a good position to exploit through the duration of the race?
Sure, and Kevin mentioned it there. We've been making improvements on the cars, but also on the operational side of the team too as well. And we'll learn from every time we make a mistake. And I think, when there's been uncertainty or different strategy calls, our group has made the right decisions, either it be tires or, when to pit or when to take a safety car. And I think we've made the right decisions most of the time there. So I think if those opportunities come, we're positioned well to take advantage of them.
Thanks very much, Jonathan. Let's move over now to our Peugeot Total Energies guest, Paul Di Resta, the number 93 car. Hello, Paul. Not much to report, I guess, in that free practice session, but when you were doing the briefing ahead of this event, what are sort of the positive points that you're hoping to achieve here on Saturday?
That better? I think it's a hard one for us to gauge where exactly we're going to be. I think Fuji was a bit of a disappointment at the end of it, where we kind of got to how the race planned out. On the back of positive races in Le Mans, I think for where we are and Monza, we certainly hope we can carry that momentum. But this is a hard track, like the guys next to have been saying. Tyre deg is obviously key to it. We had a pretty decent qualifying here last year in comparison to two Toyotas, but it's a long race and it's quite enduring on the car. So it's a huge test, but with that mixed up FP1, it obviously puts you on the back foot. But until that checking flag drops, I don't think we can really say too much where we're going to be. Collectively, we can just try and work as best as we can, but you obviously can't underestimate where the competition is. And if the competition is in front, there's quite a few cars.
Olivier's been fairly candid in the media about the evolution and the sort of changes to the package that may be coming for next season. As a driver, are you quite excited about that, of getting stuck into the development and improving the package all around?
I think the most important thing for a driver is just the feedback you want from the car and what you want is success. It's a very different race when we were fighting for the podium in Monza and we were actually quick enough to do it. It just lifts the whole team. On the back of Fuji, we obviously want to put that behind us. But I'll leave Olivier to do all that side of things. He's the technical leader and the team principal of the team. But for me, I think you just want to be racing at the front, especially where this championship's going. The amount of manufacturers are going to be getting to the front is going to be difficult, and there's a lot of work going in. But it's something that when it does happen, it achieves great things. Proud to be part of it. I'd just like it to happen a bit more.
Okay, thanks very much, Paul. Good luck for the weekend ahead. And let's move over now to our Proton competition guests, Harry Tinkle and Christian Reed. Harry, last time we spoke at length was in Monza, just as you were about to kickstart this programme. There's been so many real flashes of positivity with this package from a very early stage. You got that great result in Petit Le Mans as well. There must be a sort of incredibly buoyant vibe around the team and what might be possible for this final round.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we were, even from Monza, really happy with our initial performance. We were literally straight out in FP1, no testing or anything like that. So I think the fact that we were actually competing in the top 4 or 5 and even led the race for a few laps was far beyond our expectations. Fuji as well, we were legitimately up there on pace. We came through the field in the first couple of stints, and we hadn't up to that point had a result. So just with a few little niggles and things like that. So Petit Le Mans was definitely a huge moment for the team. I think everyone's standing a couple of inches taller coming into this race, and to get that first podium for a customer car and to legitimately be there as well, I think that's the important thing. It wasn't like it was a luck thing or anything like that. It was when the time came at the end of the race to pump the laps in, we had the pace to hold our own up the front. So I think it's a huge step forward. It's amazing sitting here listening to everyone talking about, we haven't tested at this track. Our testing really is straight into FP1, and I think that's a fact that shouldn't be forgotten about. And I think we are punching above our weight a lot, and we've got some upgrades this weekend, I think, on the software side, which hopefully should be able to progress us forward again. So it's definitely exciting times.
you obviously had your frustrations in Fuji. It was looking really strong, and then you had this really infuriating problem with the belts. But actually, Kevin and Andre and Lawrence finishing third and taking the fight to Toyota, I guess that's a kind of consolation, isn't it, with you having the same package for further down the line for you?
Yeah, I think even in Road America as well, in the IMSA series, seeing these guys win was definitely good. From our point of view, we know the package is there, and we know it's good enough, and we just needed more time. And like I say, it's so difficult when you're just coming straight into FP1 on a weekend. But we've just been progressing every single race. I think we've been better. We did 2 days before Petit. I think we learned a lot there, and every single race we're just getting stronger and stronger. So that's fantastic. Like I say, pretty confident. Hopefully we can take another step forward this weekend with some upgrades to the package, and like I say, the boys and girls, it was just nice to see everyone so buzzing after Petit. Everyone has worked so many hours, so many all-nighters, and but we're a small team, but the team that Christian's put together is full of experts, and I think like I say, we can continue to legitimately run up the front on pace, hopefully.
Okay, thanks, Harry. Good luck for Saturday. Christian Reed, as Harry says, you've put this project together. Clearly something new for Proton competition, been in Hypercar. Tell us the motivations for taking it on, and how the relationship with Porsche works for this project.
Knowing that GTE is coming to an end, there will be no LMP2 in WEC anymore, so the only option for the team to do the next stop was actually LMDH, and also with Porsche, the first manufacturer offering a customer car, it was quite logical for us to asking for a car. We got one car, and yeah, it's super excited for the team, and it's a really nice program.
Obviously, next season's going to be a big one for Proton in Hypercar. What's the winter looking like? What's the job list looking like? I imagine you've got a fair bit of work for this package.
Yeah, as we running also one car in IMSA, and there's not really a break, and we will have the next test in December in Daytona, then January Daytona 24 and Sebring. So it's still the same situation like we had this year. It's more racing and less testing.
And while you're here, Christian, the last LMGTE Am race, you were there at the very start of it. You won the first race in Sebring. I guess it'd be nice to top and tail that story with a victory for you as a driver here this weekend.
I didn't remember it was the first one we won, but for sure then we have to win the last one as well.
That'd be a nice little fairy tale to end with on Saturday. Thank you very much, Christian. Thank you to all our guests. Free Practice 2 is coming up. The guests will be available for a very short time for media. A quick mention too that the Porsche Penske Meet the Team media session is about to take place in the media centre behind us. And that's it. Thank you and goodbye.